Yo, faux shizzle and so forth. It's time for another edition of the one and only Rapping the Forums. You know how it goes by now. We take the most abysmal forum posts we can find and we turn them into the most abysmal raps we can possibly muster. Oh yes, it's seriously blinging. What can I say? Okay, thank you to Magos for finding this one. Here we go. It's Moogle MK level 60 from the guild Kieran Tor. It's a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Blood Elves shouldn't be hot. WTF. First off, Blizzard, you're being really annoying. By placing the Blood Elves on the Horde, either you're rewriting history or you're contradicting everything that the Blood Elves stand for. Okay, here it is. The Undead killed 90% of the High Elves. The High Elves fought against the Orcs and the Trolls for a long time. High Elves and Blood Elves are exactly the same thing. As you said before, the shame shunned arcane magic. Blood Elves are addicted to arcane magic. Sylvanas is hated by the Blood Elves, so why are they going Horde? Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark, question mark. Also, comma Blizzard, you just randomly threw in that the Alliance shunned the Blood Elves. The Blood Elves were my favourite race and got along fine with humans. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Give the Horde ogres or something, but to make Blood Elves go Horde makes absolutely no sense. So what if the Blood Elves drink demon blood to keep themselves alive? The Alliance has warlocks that tap into horrible magics. It's complete bullcrap that the Blood Elves go Horde. Does this mean Illidan goes Horde? Because if he does, I will just stop playing. Enough of this douchebaggery, Blizzard. Stop giving your precious Horde everything and stop rewriting history. Medivh isn't a fallen guardian who recklessly opened the dark portal. He was possessed by Soragut. He didn't open it up, but he never fell. Medivh is just wandering around, contemplating what to do. There should have been 3 factions in this game: the Scourge, Horde, and Alliance. Expletive. Blood Elves go to the Alliance. It makes no sense to go Horde. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. And I swear, if you make the Secret Alliance race other than uber cool, then me and about 200 friends will really stop playing. Bring Khadgar back. Bring back the lost armies of Azeroth. Crush their Horde and end it happy. And for God's sake, stop rewriting history. P.S. It's utter BS. The Trolls have measures of class. Stop being retarded. And stick to your earlier stories. Stop screwing over the Alliance. As if you thought it couldn't get any worse than that. Oh, yes it can. Congratulations to Clocker, level 45, Dwarf Priest from Lightning's Blade. You've just been played. Oh yes, it's a 5237254. Well, what should I say? I don't understand why plenty of people are protecting Blizzard when they are easy set stealing money from us. We pay their monthly fee without and complainment. But we can't play when we want, cause there is lag mostly of the time, and then it's no small lags. It freeze lags, and we don't get any money back off 3 days. It have happened, but what is 2 days compared with 2 weeks of play time loss? And now they are releasing a new expanton, which, that's easy said, not an expanton. This is awful! To me, it just looks like a really expensive patch, €40 or something, that like for 2 new races, there's ones just like Night Elves with brighter skin and flying mounts. Yay! And level cap, but no new classes. We want classes in an expanton. New things, not the same old things, and if we are going to pay more than our monthly fee so you can upgrade and stuff like that, we want bigger expanton than this. And you people that are always protecting Blizzard, don't you know that it's our buyers' right to complain? And if it's anything wrong with our products, it's our right to get it fixed or get our money back or replacement in some way. So Blizzard, if you don't add any classes or anything more fun that you added, please make the expanton cheaper until you make a real expanton. And if I'm not wrong, I think you aren't working on the patches or expanton any other time when the time it's maintenance. Cause after all maintenance, I mostly not find anything fixed that the bugs are like. The only time is when it's a new patch. Well, would be nice if a blue could answer why the price on the patch it put on €40. If you take it down to €30 or something, I wouldn't mind that much. It gets worse every single week. You have no idea of the pain I have to go through when preparing that feature. So, back onto expanton news. What else is coming? What else is good? What else is not so good? Well, firstly, we're going to be reading out your emails as such. Right, let's see. Okay, Chris Craig. I think the socketable items will be great. Add to your weapons as you like it. I like it. I still don't have a level 60, but I have a 53 warrior quaff on the Earthen Ring server, but I actually wouldn't mind with the 10 level cap increase. They needed increase on things like crafting, and great to have a new dual crafting profession, etc. Yeah. Socketed items, to be honest, are one of the things which really surprised me and thrilled me about the whole expansion, bearing in mind that I always felt that there was a sort of limited selection of equipment you could have, and the lack of customization was a bit of a pain. Now, you will know that socketable items come from Diablo 2. They were a very good idea, and I agree with them being put in. What I would agree with more is if they give glows or specific kinds of effects to the weapons, because, again, more customization. Customization is fantastic. Variety is the spice of life. It's what you want, as far as I'm concerned. And it's certainly what I want out of the game. Now, I don't like being told how to play my class, and if something's been put in that lets me have more ways that I can play my class, saying, well, you can play it this way. You know, there's several ways you can play it. That would be cool. I like that. My only concern would possibly be that maybe it sort of shoves enchanting a little bit out of the way. But then again, the amount of enchantments we've got are not good enough to actually... what's the term? I've totally lost my train of thought. What am I doing? Get back to it. Yeah. The fact is, the variety of the enchantments simply aren't good enough to justify them being the whole customization. So, I think socketed items are the way to go in that respect. Now, who else has posted? Work is intended. Leto. We all know Leto. He does Ancient of Law, and he's not doing a show this week because he's lazy. Leto Atreides, as a warrior, I would like to see a lot more specialization towards what weapons you use, even getting powers with specific kinds of weapons. I.e., with a sword being able to run people through is an ability, or with an axe being able to have a small chance to behead people when you strike. More specific abilities like this would make the life of a general warrior, which we all know now when it comes to PvP, being a PvP or a defense warrior, more and more varied and exciting. I can see a lot of ways they, Blizzard, could do it right, but at the same time, if they manage to strangle enough variety out of it, they could easily ruin a good thing. I still want my Orc Warrior to become a Blade Master, ha ha, Blizzard. That's from Leto. I don't know what to say to that. Basically, more customization for the win, and hero classes, it's exactly what you want. Now, let's see. Who else has posted in for the work is intended? Here we go. This is about hero class. This is from Paladin. He is, oddly enough, a paladin from Neptulon Artsy EU. He's level 60. Hey, I think that hero classes should be specific to the class. For example, in Lineage 2, if you select a fighter to start with, you will learn skills with different weapons. From there, if you go to a warrior, you will only learn melee weapon skills. After that, final class selection, either Blade Master or Gladiator. One has dual wield skills only, one has two-handed skills only. This is how I think hero classes should evolve as, and every class should have 2 or 3 hero classes to select from. And if they want to change, they're going to drop their own and do the quest for the other, much like professions. Hope you make me famous. Oh dear. Now, okay, that's one way of putting it. Obviously, it's your opinion. Personally, I don't agree with it, but it's certainly a tried and tested way of doing it. The main problem I've got with that idea is that it's more of a linear progression, and that's what I'd not necessarily like to see. But again, it's one way of doing it. I certainly wouldn't be unhappy if it was put in, because that gives me more ways to advance my character. I would probably be disappointed that Blizzard didn't come up with something more creative in that respect. Okay. Right, Mark Childs. For starters, I am Yes Boss, the UD Warlock. He is on the EU Gunjoros realm. Now, the expansion. Blood Elves, this is stupid for the Horde because this will allow little 10 to 13-year-old whiners and famous people joining the Horde as well as the allies. These little people, like Night Elf Hunters, and surprisingly enough, call them Legolas or something of those sort. Now, with the expansion, the little people now get to annoy all Horde players with Blood Elves. which are called, I wonder. So to finish, I think the Horde should get a more useful race. P.S. England for the win. There's an interesting point that I never really thought up. You can't necessarily bind immaturity to particular classes and races, but what you will find is that more immature players or younger players will, generally speaking, go for specific classes. You'll see them playing hunters and rogues. And they will be playing night elf hunters or undead rogues, that kind of thing. Now, this is not to say that people who play those classes are immature. It's simply a case of, yeah, those are the places these people go. Those are their preferences. And that's fine. And yeah, I sort of share your concern in that respect, that perhaps more immature people will come to the Horde, but then again, we've got enough immature people anyway. A few more is not going to make a blind bit of difference. Now, Julian, if that's his real name, 60 human mage from Blade Fist. I think Blizzard should have fixed current content before adding a new race, starting area, etc. There are still issues in the game, and that should have been fixed before. Now, while I understand that, I don't think that's a reason to delay a large amount of content. If there's been issues from day one, and there will always be issues until this game closes down. Every single game on the planet has issues of some description. Even Pong was buggy at times. So, you can expect issues. To be honest, I don't think that should hold up the development of an expansion, because ask yourself honestly, if you were going to quit the game, would you quit due to lack of content or due to bugs? I would wager that the majority of you would say lack of content because you've got bored. You don't get bored because of bugs, you get frustrated because of bugs. Frustration is not usually the reason for leaving. The reason for leaving is usually getting bored. It's not universal. No, at all. It's not universal. But, simply speaking, I would say that that is the way to go. You bring out content rather than fixing old content. Admittedly, I would prefer to see both, quite frankly. Both should be put on there. If there are issues and they're brought to the attention of Blizzard, they should be fixed, if there is no good reason not to. However, I would not want to see fixing existing content that I may have already gone through and will never touch again. Example, Chen's Empty Keg, a quest which rarely, if ever, works. I don't want to see that prioritised over new stuff that I can use. And let's face it, the majority are now in the case where they want new content, high-end content, and not low-end. Bugs should be fixed, but they should not be prioritised over content. That is my personal opinion on that. Okay. Now, a Mr. Edgar Valesco. Fancy name. It is true that races in WoW do not make much of a difference in gameplay, with the exception of the racial abilities. In order to make races actually matter, there would have to be class-specific racials. I actually talked about this last week, and wondered why class-specific racials weren't in the game, such as the priest system in existence at the moment. Quite unfortunately, this would create more hassle for Blizzard in balancing. Yeah. However, in my opinion, content should take precedence over balancing, because the eternal battle of balance will never end. Balance is in the eye of the beholder. Balance is a very relative thing. So, I would never want to see balance take precedence over new content. No, I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. So it's that simple. Players would keep whining about it. This is what this guy's saying. Players will keep whining about the balance. They will keep whining about the balance until the dawn and the end of time. It's that simple. Yes, it would make the game substantially more fun, but it would take a long time to implement. Yeah. If only the devs would spend more time making the game more fun rather than coding almost useless features like dressing room. Right, let me just make one thing perfectly clear. The dressing room itself cannot have been that hard to code in the first place. People always seem to pick on this kind of thing. Like they picked on the Halloween decorations, and they picked on the whole Children's Week, and the fireworks, and the dressing room. And they say, oh, Blizzard, you shouldn't be doing this. You should be doing this. You don't seriously think that they actually spent a month developing the dressing room, do you? No. It was probably some guy next to the water cooler saying, hey, wouldn't it be cool if? Say, okay, we'll implement that. 5 minutes later, it's done. It's not hard. Because content like that is not difficult. It's a feature that people enjoy using now. I enjoy having that feature in the game. It matters to me what my character looks like because it gives me a close connection with my character. Not that I'm just playing my character, that I've developed and nurtured this character. And to be honest, there's not enough of that in World of Warcraft to start with. Therefore, adding the dressing room did in fact enhance World of Warcraft. And quite frankly, it did not take that long. It's easy to use that kind of thing as an excuse, but in reality, whatever faith or lack of faith you've got in Blizzard, you cannot seriously expect them to spend that long on the dressing room. They didn't. It's blindingly obvious, and it's used as an excuse by malcontents, effectively. Scapegoating, which is wrong. Blizzard have been guilty of it, and the players have been guilty of it, and neither of them were correct in that respect. Scapegoating is wrong. And I won't stand for it. It's that simple. You listen to Blue Please here on WoW Radio. I think it may be time for another track, and then perhaps the episode of the week, and rounding up this show. So what can I play? Well, since people are getting angsty, they, ooh, Blizzard are evil. Let's play some Rage. Take you back to your teenage angry years of when your parents wouldn't give you your allowance this week because you didn't clean up your room.